everybody, I'm Deannie Morris and this is my biggest challenge video. I just finished doing my comp exam yesterday and I had a good talk with Dr. Jones about some of my challenges that I have within my classroom and with technology and in the incorporation of it. As a kindergarten teacher, it's really hard to really want to incorporate all the things that I have in my head and have in my mind that I've learned to apply to the kindergarten classroom. We're at such a beginning level in so many different things, and it takes so many extra steps and directions to have a kindergarten follow what you want them to do. And so when I want to incorporate that technology in the classroom and all the things that I've learned, and I have so many ideas from this class, that it's hard to sit down and think, okay, now how can I take what I've learned and apply it to the mind of a 5- and 6-year-old. You have so many extra steps. They are not physically ready to use a keyboard, use a mouse. They're really good at using iPads, but anytime it takes extra steps to log something in, to type in their name, type in an email address, type in a password, have to access so many different things. We are still at doing 2 to 3 step directions for a student to be able to follow in an order. So it would take a lot of stop and go. It would take a lot of my help. So it would have to be done in small groups. And sometimes you just don't have that time. Now, my district has adopted something called ILIT, which is Integrated Literature. And it's our new curriculum that we follow. It's kind of like a scope and sequence. It's kind of like a guideline that goes along with the standards. And one of the big things that they've incorporated this year is the technology ISTE standards. And they really want us to have the students being empowered learners. They want us to be able to be creative communicators. And there's all sorts of these global standards that they're using in order for us to incorporate that with elementary students. Now for me, I wanted to go and talk with a couple other teachers before I recorded this video because I thought to myself, I wonder if this is a struggle that I'm just having, or what other grades do I see this happening in? So I talked to a 1st grade and a 2nd grade teacher, and they struggle with just the same thing. Now, 2nd grade wasn't as bad. My 2nd grade teacher, Christine, she actually told me, she said, you know, it's difficult for 2nd grade, but 2nd grade is that age where they're becoming so much more interested, and they use technology in all these other different ways, and they get so excited to see what they're going to do new with this technology. Now in 1st grade, my 1st grade teacher, Sherry, that I discussed with, she said the exact same thing as I was. It's really hard to want to incorporate that in. So for me, I want to go back to the ISTE standards. Sorry about my dogs. And with the ISTE standards, I looked at the learner section of the standards, and section 1A says to set professional learning goals, to explore and apply pedagogical approaches made possible by technology and reflect on their effectiveness. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm setting these goals for myself of how do I want to apply this technology. And the 1C also says to stay current with research that supports improved student learning outcomes, including those learning sciences. And I feel like we've learned a lot in this program about that. And so I've actually started a document on my computer that shows all the different steps that I can go through and the processes through research that I found, even in my article summaries in this final portfolio. The next thing that I found was in the designer section of the ISTE standards. It says use technology to create, adapt, and personalize learning experiences that foster independent learning and accommodate learner differences and needs. So obviously, as a kindergarten student, they're going to have different needs as a 5th grade student is. And so I'm going to have to figure out those ways to stretch myself as a teacher to design all of that technology for the students to figure out, hey, how am I going to be able to do this with them? And so one of my goals for myself for the future is to be able to not only figure out how I'm going to work this out with a student in kindergarten, but something for myself is I have thought about moving up to a higher grade level. Now, I love primary, so it would probably be 2nd or 3rd grade that I would want to move up to, but I would be very interested in knowing for myself how I feel the differences are, and if this biggest challenge that I have is something that I see a little less of. Now, I'm such a goal setter, and I'm somebody who reflects on my own teaching. So I'm really excited to see where this goes and if this is something that I can continue to work on with myself. Now that we're done with this program, I think it's going to be great to take everything that I've learned one step at a time and really figure out how I'm going to apply it in my work. So that is my biggest challenge video. I really enjoyed this class, and I hope everybody has an awesome holiday season. Bye.